This is the Bruce Lee story by Bruce Lee's widow, Linda Lee Caldwell. In her own words, she talks about her late great husband, the legendary martial artist Bruce Lee. A personal in-depth testimony about Bruce Lee by her. Here's some students of Bruce Lee. Well-known martial artist Jun Rhee, father of Taekwondo. Ed Parker, father of American Karate or Kempo. And she talks about Bruce Lee when they first met and how she was besotted by him, and her grades at school started to drop because she had this need to be around Bruce Lee as much as she could be. Bruce and Linda in front of his Kwun or dojo, his Junfan Kung Fu school on University Way in Seattle, USA. Bruce teaching a small group of students in a parking garage in his early days in Seattle. There's more pictures of Bruce. His class, and there's Linda Lee, or Linda Emery then, as a cheerleader. Bruce Lee in action. Bruce and James Lee. Bruce and Taki Kimura. Verification or proof that Linda was a member of Bruce Lee's Chunfan Kung Fu Institute. There's her membership card. History of her parents, her parents, or her parents, Everett and Vivian Emery. Her mother was very pretty. Yes, she is there. Her mother, Vivian Dickinson, and her stepfather, Willard Dickinson, because her father died when she was about 5 apparently. Bruce Lee in action here. The common biography of Bruce Lee, his birth, is growing up in Hong Kong with his other siblings. From the left, Robert, Agnes, Bruce, Peter and Phoebe. Peter being the oldest, apparently. Bruce's father, Lee Hoi Chun, the Lee family. Bruce's mother, Grace, just quite attractive. Half German, half Chinese, apparently. Bruce in his young days, when he was a young actor in Hong Kong. His love of motorbikes, fast vehicles, Ip Man. Bruce's only teacher, Sifu Ip Man, or Ip Man, master of the Wing Chun system of Kung Fu. There he is holding Brandon. Bruce and Doug Palmer doing Chiso. Cha-Cha dancer. Bruce performing the Cha-Cha. He was the Hong Kong Cha-Cha champion in 1958. There he is with his father. He's on board the steamship from Hong Kong to the United States in April of 1959. Bruce taught dancing to first class passengers. Performing this Cha-Cha, Bruce wore glasses as a young man, which he later traded in for contact lenses. Bruce going through his many forms Could that be tiger praying mantis, maybe? Who knows? More Bruce Lee going through forms. Bruce in a typical Wing Chun stance. Look how flexible he was. Wow. Certainly was strong. One-handed 3-finger push-ups. Bruce's upper body was well developed from this type of exercise. That's when he was at St. Francis Xavier School in Hong Kong. Bruce is in the second row, third from left. There he is. He's got the glasses on. Grandmaster Jun Ree introducing Bruce at his tournament in Washington, D.C. Bruce practicing with family and friend Sylvia Lai, a popular Hong Kong entertainer who would later be Robert Lee's wife. His brother's wife, right? It's Bruce at 23 when Linda first met him. And she talks about how she had this thing for him. Besotted by him. James Y. Lee, a friend and student of Bruce Lee. James Lee's house, because Bruce moved out of his place of residence, and lived with James for a while. Linda Lee with Brandon, pregnant with Brandon. Bruce holding his newborn daughter, Shannon. Brandon and Linda. He had jet black hair, but then it turned blonde. Well, she is Swedish, right? Swedish mix, apparently. Happy family. Brandon, about 2 years old, practicing his moves. Baby Shannon, the apple of her daddy's eye. I wonder if she had blonde hair. Bruce in action, training hard. Doing the Muk Jun, the Wing Chun dummy, the wooden dummy. Bruce and Dan Innocento, his senior student and assistant and friend, instructor of the Jun Fan Kung Fu Institute in Los Angeles. Bruce with lifelong friend and second mother Eva Saw. Bruce Lee practicing his moves with Taki Kimura. James Lee, a welder by trade, constructing a new piece of equipment and trying it out. He did all this for Bruce Lee to his requirements. Bruce with Danny Innocento, he's more of a student. And here's the membership card for his weight training routine. Bruce kept track of his progress. Weight training was a major part of his workouts. They didn't go for big, bulky Arnold Schwarzenegger muscles or body. Bruce is Kato in the Green Hornet, signing a young fan's. Bruce in his Kato uniform, signing an autograph for a young man or young fan, young boy there. He's in public as Kato, giving a demo at Long Beach, 1 inch punch, going up against practicing with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Look at his leg, really long. Working out with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bruce found it a unique and educating experience to practice with his friend whose extremities had such long reach. Well, the guy was 7'2". Bruce's vast library, over 2,500 books or more. Somewhere around here there's a book he had on Islam, so he had a very reading interest. Bruce having a talk with John Saxon, co-star of Enter the Dragon. James Garner on the set of Marlowe, on the set of The Green Hornet with James Lee and children, Karina and Greglon, James Lee's children. Bruce with their Great Dane Bobo, huge dog. Sharon Tate, who was unfortunately killed by the Manson girls or family, had romance with Roman Polanski, the director. I think she might have married him actually. She was pregnant to him, supposedly. Bruce and Chuck Norris. James Garner again. Bruce on TV, kicking boards, breaking boards, swinging boards. He broke 4 out of 5 apparently. Bruce on Hong Kong TV, talking to an audience. Bruce and Raymond Chow, director, on the set of Enter the Dragon. Bruce shows James Franciscus how to perfect his kick on the set of Longstreet, the TV series. James Coburn and Bruce on their Indian sojourn. They're probably going to do that film Silent Flute. There's a video by Beardy and it says that Steve McQueen, Bruce training with Steve McQueen. Wrong, it's actually James Coburn, because he's quite tall and lanky. As you can see, the second part where he's kicking a bag or something like that, and you can clearly identify it's James Coburn, not Steve McQueen. Bruce practicing his flying kicks in the Indian desert. Oh, look at that. That was Shannon Lee when she was a little kid. Family life, family and kids. Bruce and Brandon fooling around. Linda and Bruce. Family. Bruce's extended family, aunts, uncles and cousins in Hong Kong. Bruce's elder brother, Peter, is to his left. Okay, kitty cat. You want to come and sit down in front of me and be annoying? Okay. Want some attention. Yeah, Bruce Lee and his son Brandon live on TV. He breaks boards, poor little boy. It's pretty good. Hong Kong audience delighted in watching Bruce break boards. It wasn't a part of a serious martial arts demonstration, but Bruce would perform these tricks to amuse viewers. So Bruce and Lo Wei and children, Thai children on a set of The Big Boss in Thailand. I think they had those sort of 1Z type blankets that you could basically wear around in the 50s and 60s. So the ones these days are just copies of that. trying to bring them back into fashion, or create a trend from them. Bruce Lee on the set of Way of the Dragon, directing his first directorial debut in Way of the Dragon. This guy kind of looks like him on the side. Is that Nora Meow? Not really sure. Get off the keyboard, cat. Having problems with this mouse. Jeez, cat, where you got? Oh my gosh. Stubborn cat won't get off the keyboard. Try him off, he keeps coming back. Just sit on the keyboard. There he is with Chuck Norris on Way of the Dragon. Bruce on the set of The Game of Death. This is letters to Linda. I know. Bruce was disappointed that the powers at Warner Brothers Bruce was disappointed that the powers at Warner Brothers insisted on his last picture, Hans Island. Can't really see that word. 10 days after the previous telegram, Bruce was overjoyed that he had convinced Warner Brothers to rename the film into Dragon. Oh, okay, so he was not happy with them calling it Hans Island. Bruce Lee on the set of Game of Death with James Chen. Another Beatty video shows a still of Bruce Lee on the Big Boss fighting the boss's henchman. When it wasn't him, it's James Chen. You gotta be careful of that Beatty guy. Apparently he makes up a lot of rubbish, according to Golden Bell Training YouTuber. In a scene with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for Game of Death, look at that. That's how flexible he was. Even with Bruce's great agility, it was impossible to kick Kareem in the face from a standing position. Yeah, because the guy was 7'2", wasn't he? But look at that. That's how high his foot could go. It looks like a La Savate move. French kickboxing. Many more pictures of Bruce Lee. Here he is with Nora Meow. I don't think he ever had a relationship with her. They're like best friends. I don't think he ever had a on the side relationship with her. On the set of Game of Death, Raymond Chow, Linda Lee, Fred Weintraub, not too sure who that is, and Rose or something. Someone. Bruce Lee in his infamous yellow tracksuit. There he is. Nunchaku battle with Dan in Santos. Santo. Who's this? Hong Kong entertainers, that Betty Ting Pei. John Saxon, Into the Dragon. It's the director. Robert Klaus and producer Fred Weintraub. Bruce Lee doing or setting himself up in the old dress of ancient historical Chinese figures. He had some ideas for Zatoichi, the blind swordsman, his remake of it, etc. There is with John Saxon going in a demo, Kung Fu demo. More family photos. Bruce and his mother. Bruce's mother, or grandma of Brandon. And he suddenly dies in Hong Kong hospital in July 20, 1973. Big news at that time. Linda Lee and looks like Shannon, could be Raymond Chow. Linda and Bruce's mother and others, probably family. We just saw something about Martin Luther King. A little history about his family members. Brandon. Shannon. Younger brother Robert Lee, who was a musician. There's Brandon and Shannon, aged 6 and 2. Shannon, Linda Lee and Brandon. Family photos, probably her family. Pictured with members of the Jeet Kune Do Society: Herb Jackson, Tim Tackett, Robert Bastello, Larry Hartzell, Jerry Poteet, Daniel Lee and Ted Wong. Shannon and Brandon, brother and sister. And that's it, folks. We hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Add your comments below the video and we'll get back to you on those as soon as possible. Thank you for taking the time to watch our latest video upload. The Bruce Lee story by his widow, Linda Lee.